Welcome, David, to our next episode of Who's Penny. How are you going?
Well, thank you. Thanks for the invitation for today.
No problems. Now, tell me a little bit about 5C Capital.
So 5C Capital is a relatively new business. I've personally been in finance for over 20 years. We started in the midst of the pandemic and we are going back to a lockdown, or we're in the midst of another lockdown now, which is fun for all. So we're sort of comfortable with it. But yeah, we've been going from strength to strength in a short period. And really loving and enjoying what we're doing and helping businesses along the way.
So tell me about what's the current situation in the marketplace for those elements that are key to your business. Where are you seeing the marketplace at the moment?
Look, we mainly deal with commercial customers, those being construction, manufacturing, property investment. There seems to be a good level of confidence, but there's also an air of uncertainty. I mean, with all these a renewed lockdown. It really throws everything in the air, and you walk past the local coffee shop and you really wonder how they're sort of battling through. And I think one thing that stands to mind to everyone is we don't no longer have any sort of job support with JobKeeper.
Yes.
And there's a fair amount of uncertainty in how it pans out. We've seen customers that have really had a lifeline through JobKeeper. So I think there's a lot of balls in the air, and it's where it may land, and properties and another whole topic altogether where that's going to go.
And what about some of the products that you're putting clients into at the moment? What are some of those products?
Look, I think as the old adage says, cash is king. A lot of our customers are wanting to have ready access to capital. They're seeing a lot of their bankers are sort of not as helpful as what they may have been when it's prior to lockdown, and there might be a couple of lazy bankers out there that sort of watching a bit too much Netflix and not picking up and answering the phone when they should be. And I think a lot of them have got a fair amount of uncertainty in those relationships. As a business owner, that presents a good opportunity for us also to assist those customers. But I think readily able access to cash is really critical at the moment, because there's so much fluctuations with settlements and properties. And also with regards to cash flow, that's debtors can be strung out, and everyone's sort of using each other as a quasi bank to some extent. And now the other thing is with the ATO, they seem to be sort of dialing it up a bit in terms of collections. Yes. We are seeing a fair amount of people going on repayment plans with the ATO. Banks are really understanding of that, but it's really telling the narrative of how they're going to get back to a more normalized position post these events.
And where are you seeing some of the challenges with opportunities? Is it sort of government regulation that's your challenge, or it's the clients the challenge? Where are your challenges at the moment in business?
Oh, look, I really sort of feel for the CFOs and bookkeepers. I think the challenge is they're under extraordinary amounts of pressure at the moment. And the directors and owners may not be cognizant of the pressures that the finance teams are under. And it's really hard for them. So I really do feel a lot for those people, and they're having to, sometimes rob Peter to pay Paul. And I think, look, the old thing is a lot of people sort of bury their heads in the sand when a problem arises and think, she'll be right, we'll get through it. Good old, Australian adage, we'll be right. But I think now is a real critical time to be really strategic, or not even now. It should have been probably 6 months prior to this. And people really need to take stock of where they're at and be realistic in where their business is, and draw a line and say, if things aren't working, let's readapt and change.
Yes.
And move forward, because the market is changing rapidly.
And what do you think the future holds? I mean, we always talk the future 5-10 years, but our future probably is now, we're only looking probably 12 to 18 months away.
Yeah.
Given our circumstances, right? What do you see? What do you think is going to happen in that next 12 to 18 months period in the space that you play in?
Oh, look, what I'll talk more in terms of our manufacturing customers and trading businesses. Because they, like everyone says, they're a lifeline of the Australian economy. And, I grew up around family businesses as a kid, and, it's sort of in my blood. I think it's really hard. Like, you've got a generational change that's happening in terms of family businesses. You've got so much online threat in terms of new ways of marketing your business through social media, influencers, Facebook, Instagram. There's so much happening, and a business owner can be really consumed. And I think it's critical that they really get a good management team around them, being strong bookkeeping, strong CFO service, good marketing company, good finance people around them, and they're honest to them, like they'll be honest and give them the hard truth and not pay lip service to say, powder my nest and make me feel good about myself. They really need to take stock of where they're at and make strong, good, critical decisions about the future of their businesses, because the economy is changing rapidly, and if we don't adapt, I mean, we adapt our own business every day. Like, things change. We've got movement with lenders and movement with government policy. And it's going to be the future. It's just change is constant.
I think the key is whatever will be, but having good infrastructure in your business, good process, good control will see you through the majority of issues. As we'd like to end all of our episodes of Who's Penny, Dave, do you have a useless talent?
Oh, look, I'm a bit of a daredevil, so I do like to do a bit of I've done a skydiving and a bungee jump before, but with 3 kids, I'm become quite boring.
And what about an old trend that you'd like to come back?
I would definitely say comfortable clothing. Yeah. So the office is, well, maybe it's not anymore. It's probably just a suit jacket and shorts underneath these days with all the Zoom meetings. But I think comfy clothing, and I'm not a fan of skinny jeans. I'm not a fan of skinny suits. I'm more about a comfort sort of thing.
Very good. Well, David, thanks very much for joining us today from 5C Capital. It's much appreciated, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the invitation. Really enjoyed it today. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. No problems.
Yes, bye-bye.